So tonight, first of all, I want to show you this. I'm gonna screen share. Share. Oh. Right. So this is my Google Analytics on the website. We can see we've got quite a lot of users. That's a lot for a technical website. Believe me, it's a lot. And then when we come here, the most viewed page is Jesse's article. This is Jesse's article. This page has been viewed, most this week by users. And I think that's a really cool thing. So well done, Jess.
Yeah, well done. Amazing.
Thank you.
Your article is really, really good. Everyone reads it because it's so informative and detailed. It's basically everything you need to know about charts and dashboards in there. Everyone can just take the information from there and present it to their client. And that's very valuable. I knew it was very valuable, but there's the proof. Like 140 people are reading your article. That's in a week. That's something. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's begin. Donna?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Share. Right. All right. So the opportunity form has 4 sections to it, which is namely the summary, the product line item, and then you've got your quotes, and lastly, your field service. There's also 3 required mandatory fields, namely the owner, topic, and currency. If I go into Dynamics, I've got an opportunity open, and you can see, I'll just move it up. Sorry, I have an old laptop, so it might be a bit slow. So we've got the summary section, which maybe I should go into, I think I'm going to go into leads. Obviously, it's similar to the leads form. You've got your activity section, which is the same, and then you've also got a summary section. I'm going to go back to, so once you qualify a lead and it becomes an opportunity, let's go into this one. A lot of that information gets pulled through from the summary section. So you've got your topic, which also wants you, if you hover your cursor over the name of the field, it also gives you an explanation of what information they're expecting you to populate within that field. So obviously I've just put in that my company is obviously a paper company. So I'm selling paper, printer paper, colored paper, that kind of thing. And the account. And then you've got your currency, which you can obviously change if you want. What I did discover is that even though it automatically puts the default currency that you installed with, if you want to change it, you need to remove that one first. And then when I go into look up again, there are my other ones that you can choose from. I'll just stick with the pound. And then description, obviously it's further information that you want to fill in there. Probability, that's the probability that you think from 0 to 100 of how probable you will be at obtaining this opportunity. And then, as I said, you've got your activities here, adding a phone call if there's if you have a conversation that you would like to record or note. Cancel that. Also got the other activities, the same as on the lead form. Over here, we've got your opportunity to contact stakeholder. That's your key contact. If you've converted from the lead form, it normally populates with your contact. And then once you've qualified and moved on to the development stage, you've got your current situation, which refers more to the company. I suppose if it's a new company, you could add that information in. Maybe they're looking for a bulk buy, customer need, any particulars, and obviously your proposed solution in meeting the customer's need, so that you can move on to quotes or adding your product. And then I've got move to the product line. Obviously you've got your price list that you can pick, and system calculated, which is or user provided, as you know. Selecting all the products. Maybe there's a discount that you'd like to offer him. And the third section is your quotes, which we had a look at last time. And then the last section was the field service, which is a work type, which I think is more for services. So if you've got a plumbing business, for instance, and you've got work coming in, it's I would think that would be the area you would use. So for the opportunity process, you've got your qualified, which obviously you can populate with the information that you think you would need. The development stage, which is meeting that customer's needs. Then your proposed area stage, which is your quotes. And then hopefully once you close it, you would close it as one. Obviously you've got these buttons at the top here of the opportunity form. That's the one you're obviously hoping for, to close as one. If you click on it, the nice thing about these command bar buttons is they do, once you open them, they do seem to prompt the required information. So that's if you wanted to, if you'd want it, you'd click OK. If you close it, normally they want a reason for it not being one. And you've got your actual revenue and your close date. And if you've lost it to a competitor, you can add the competitor in to that as well. If you're adding items onto your price item list and you need to recalculate, you can obviously just click on there. It recalculates populates the whole opportunity for you. Forms. I had a little bit of a look at this, and it's more for if you need to remove certain fields that you don't feel are necessary, or if you want to add, and it also allows you to create fields. The process button, this allows you to switch. You can switch between the lead process, going back, you can edit it or abandon. Again, this is to, the next one is if you want to convert to a work order. Obviously, you need to have the field service field populated for this to work. Assign, if you need to assign it to somebody else. Email, and then you've got some extra commands down here. Deleting, following if you wanted to follow, if you had obviously possibly reassigned, but you still wanted to follow the opportunity. To run a workflow, that was quite interesting. I think the best example I found about that was if you had, for example, a discount percentage and you wanted to have managerial approval for anything over a certain percent, you could create a workflow that would send an email, for example, to management to approve that percentage discount that you wanted to offer. Obviously, then there's Word templates and run reports. What else? These little arrows, just then you go to the previous record and to the next record. And yeah, it was just a quick run through a bit about the opportunity form. Also, if you are in the opportunity view, the same as in the leads, you've got your charts on the side here, which you can also add, change, choose your different opportunities by ratings or campaigns. That's the one I was having a look at. Suppose they're closed opportunities of all different kinds. And of course, as we've spoken about before with charts and dashboards, there is something that can feature on the dashboard as well. If you've got a list of open opportunities that you're wanting to view. And yeah, that's the opportunity form.
Thank you, Donna.
I wanted to show.
Sure, go.
I spoke so much I didn't show you the rest of my little presentation, and then at the end I had with the opportunity stages, I had just a little explanation for each stage, for the potential sale of a qualifier, and in the development stage you're working through questions and requirements, and in the proposed stage customer evaluation of quotes, and obviously when you close, you want to close it as won or lost. There you go.
I think that was very good. And there are some things that you highlighted that I didn't mention before, and they are indeed very important. Such as you showed for the currency field, in order to be able to add a new currency field or to find it in the list, you would have to take the current field away, the current value away. And that's very important because oftentimes users, they get confused because they can't change the field, or they know they have all the currencies or all the records. Or for example, if you have a contact, right? Let's just say you have yourself as a contact and me as a contact as well. And at the beginning, let's just say we have a company together. And at the beginning, I am their main stakeholder, but then it changed to you. And they know for sure that they have you in the system, but they just can't remove you or search for me. So that's very important to know that you have to click on the list, remove the record, and then search for the record that you need. That's really very important. The other thing that you mentioned with regards to winning or closing the opportunities as lost, the two pop-up windows that appear, those are the opportunity close entity. So CRM literally records a little opportunity close entity that only has those fields. We cannot customize that, right? So it's got, our value of the opportunity, and what's the status, and what's the status reason. Status reason, another good thing that you mentioned. Opportunities have a life cycle, as you said. They can be, open, or then they can be closed as one or lost. When they're open, you can edit them. When they're closed as one or lost, you cannot edit them. But as soon as we send an opportunity from one state to the other, we need to specify a status reason, which is exactly what you said. So that CRM would expect you to say, why did you lose the opportunity? And then lastly, yeah, you're right, the field service bit is for servicing. So if we're selling a contract for servicing, which is quite possible, because for example, if we are even you were selling paper in your example, but if you're a printer company, you might sell support contracts mostly, and your whole revenue comes from selling support to the companies who have bought your printers, and then you would create work orders for them. So it was really cool. This is why I love these things, because you guys have a look in there and you get things that I wouldn't normally mention or even realize that, they're important. Even though I know they're important, I don't realize that I should mention them. So thank you very much.
Okay.
And I also think this was a very good preemptive for business process flows.
Exactly, she's presented most of my.
No, she hasn't.
I want to present tonight because one of the subjects is out of the box business process flows, and the opportunity is one of them. So I didn't have that in on my presentation for today. All right, so do I start now?
Sure, and go through it anyway, especially if you have, more information, because Donna mentioned that you have these stages and this is what they're for. But you can obviously go into more details.
Okay, I'll screen share. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah, great. So this
Yes.
flows with Dynamics in Dynamics 365. The overview, what I'm going to present this evening, the points that I'm going to present are what are business process flows and their role. I'm going to talk about out-of-the-box business process flows, how to create a business process flow within the business process flow designer, add stages, steps, conditions, and workflows. So just a quick intro about business process flows and their role. So there are new functionality added to CRM 2013. They're a guide and provide a visual representation of the steps that need to be followed in order to complete the defined process. They're fantastic tools for all types of businesses as they ensure everyone inputs accurate data into the system. Following the same steps, they reduce the need for training staff, also avoid mistakes and speed things up. So they're really, really good. Right, so now I'm going to go into my file. I hope I haven't closed it completely. Right, because I was working on something before I started the presentation. Okay, I think I might have came out of my instance, which is not helpful. I apologize for that. Let me see if yes. No, I haven't, which is great. Right. To be able to go into out of the box business process flows, we need to go into settings, like yes, settings, processes, and then I'll show you. Business process flows. Okay, so you can see here all the business process flows within Dynamics 365, all out of the boxes, all out of the box business process flows. The one that I've wanted to present to you is opportunity sales process. So if I click on it, it will take me to the it will take me here to the designer, to the business process flow designer. I don't want to go yet into here to show you the business process flow, which I'm going to create for you this evening. So we'll go into sales. We'll go to opportunities because I know the last times when we had the sessions, we had quite a lot of information about leads. So this evening, we're going to have information about opportunities. Okay. I'm just going to go on the first one here. The first opportunity here. So my primary entity is the opportunity. So okay, the business process flow starts with the qualify stage within my opportunity. So we have here, like my colleague presented, we've got 4 stages: qualify, develop, close, and close. If we don't want all the information here, we can click this arrow and the process flow bar will collapse, as you can see. Or if we want to go back and see the information about the contact account, purchase time frame, budget, and so on, it's easy. You can see it by clicking on the process bars, or on the first or second stage. If we click on the process button here in the command bar, my colleague did go into it a bit, but I wanted to show you if we can switch the process. If there's other, we can change to a different business process if one is available for that entity. And if we have obviously the security, if our security role allows it, we can do that. So switch process. We can switch between processes. I only have one process at the moment, which is opportunity sales process. So I don't have another one to switch to a different one. We can abandon the process, and then if we abandon the process, the process bar will become gray, as you can see here. But it can be reactivated at any time by clicking the reactivate button. All the information that you've entered prior to deactivate, prior to doing this process, it would be saved, so you wouldn't lose any of the information. It's not lost, so we'll reactivate it. Okay. Every our business process flow is composed of stages, as you can see here. All active stages are in green. Are in green. So those ones are active. If the mark is completed. Which is the process. We can do this one as well. So this is it's a company, Northwind Traders. It's not my opportunity. I haven't created this. This is the system we created. I had to create a new trial, so I haven't had time to create new opportunities for you to show you. But this is quite a good one. Has a lot of information. You can see here on the form. So we'll put here committee. We're going to the next page, develop. All the information here, you can see it's cascading down all the stages, so all the steps. So each stage has a step. We'll go to the proposed one. Develop. Onto the develop one. We'll just have to complete it. Save it. So the next stage would be propose, and the last stage close, and if the opportunity obviously is close as won or close as lost, the user will continue to move obviously through the stages, completing the steps required. Some of the steps will have to, they're required, which they're mandatory. So we can't move forward into the process if we don't complete all those steps. We can't move to the next stage until all the process is completed. Okay. So what else can I show you? I don't want to repeat the same information, so I'm trying to see what else I can show you. Completed, not complete. So send a thank you note and the brief complete. Yeah. Save changes. I'm not sure here what I'm not doing right, because to go to the last stage, so all fields are completed. Active for a minute, inactive the first stage.
Yeah, I need to click next stage. That was the only thing.
Stage. develop for 1 minute, yes, and then propose, and then obviously the last stage, close, and we'll close as one the opportunity. As you can see, there's the onshore. So estimated revenue, you can see here, 10 million pounds. Okay, so we'll close the opportunity as one. Right. Okay, so that was about business, out-of-the-box business process flows. So Dynamics 365 provides out-of-the-box business process flows for common business scenarios like the one like leads to opportunity business process flow, a phone to case business process flow, opportunity sales process, and a few others. I've given you an example here. It's the lead to opportunity business process flow. But on the example that I've shown you, it's the opportunity sales process. Business process flows are composed of stages, and within the stage there are steps or actions which must be completed in order to progress to the next stage and reach the end of the process. Some steps might be mandatory before allowing the user to progress to the next stage in the process, which is called stage gating. So you've seen when we went in the opportunity, if we don't fill in all the information, we can't proceed to the next stage and so on. Some of the information is not required, so we can skip it, but some important information, like about contact or budget, we need to know if our client opportunity is can afford to pay for, in our case, for printers, for the printers. Yes. Okay. Going to my presentation. Okay. Just a bit of few information. In simple cases such as small businesses, a linear business process flow is a good option, whereas in large-scale businesses, the business process flows can be customized with branching or conditions. A branch can be no more than 5 levels deep and must be based on the steps in the stage that immediately precedes it. You can combine multiple conditions in a rule by using the and or operator, but not both operators. Each business process flow has a maximum of 30 stages per process and a maximum of 30 steps per stage. A multi-entity process can have no more than 5 entities, and it is possible to have up to 10 active business processes per entity. So that was some information which it's quite important about business process flows. And my last third point, or my last subject, is how to create a business process flow using the business process flow designer. And you can see it here. I'm going back to my file. We'll go into this time. We're going to settings, and we're going to solutions. I've seen when I've gathered information for this presentation, I've seen quite a few presentations. They go into customization, and that's where they start creating a new business process flow. But I know the correct way is to go into solutions and create your business process flow there. So that's my solution. Right, so in my solution here, we go into processes. I've already You can add existing business process flows, and I've added the opportunity sales process, and you can create new business process flows. And the one that I'm going to create to you this evening is the opportunity to invoice process. It's in a draft state at the moment. Okay, so we'll click on it. Right. A few bits of information about the business process flow designer here. A flow here you can see. Let's start with this area here. This area here is called the canvas area, and this on the right side is called the side panel. In the side panel you have the components and the properties tab. The components are the flow and the composition. A flow is a step in the process, and the composition are the details, so the steps in the workflows within the flow. If we have a look at the top here, those are the commands that we're going to use for the primary commands, basically. So this is the save button to save the process, validate. This validate button is quite important because it checks the logic within the business process flow to confirm like we haven't done any mistakes, so nothing is missing. Save as button, so we can save the process to another file. Activate it, so we need to activate it in order to make it available for other users if we want to. Order process flows. So if we have multiple business process flows on certain entities, we can change the default order, like for our opportunity. If we click on it, I think we have more than one, yes. So we can use the arrows and choose which one we want to make it, which one we want to change the order. So I want to make the opportunity to invoice, make it first. So it will show up, will be first in order. Okay, click OK. Edit security roles. I know my colleague Anya was going to talk about security roles, so I'm not going to go into much depth with it. You can go into the roles here, each role, and then choose which kind of security that you want to give to that. Like so, let's say to the account manager, to the activity fields, in person. If you want them to start business process, you can do that by clicking on. I'll quickly show you. It's easier to show than kind of actually talking about without showing. So we go to business process flows here. You can see here the account manager has full access here to create, read, write, delete, append, and to if the process expired or lead to the expired process, to lead to opportunity sales process, so for all of these business process flows, he has all this security or all this access. Right, if we want to grant him, obviously we can click in here, and then we'll save and close if we want to. So I'm going to undo this, just leave it as it is. Okay. Right. Okay. The properties tab will let you customize flows and compositions. I'll show that to you in a minute. The snapshot here, the snapshot takes an image of the canvas area. So if you have like a very complex business process flow, which you've seen, you can have up to 30 stages and 30 steps. It's quite a huge business process flow, and you can't. It would be very difficult to see it in the canvas. So if you take a snapshot on it, it's easy to see it. It's easy to see it in a flowchart view. The mini map. I mean, I can show you on this one here, but you won't see much at the moment because we haven't done any work on it yet. Right, so you can see here how it looks like, how it's going to look like. You can edit, create, you can edit and create. Right, share it. And go back. Another thing important is the minimap here. The minimap is to navigate quickly to different parts of the process. As I said, when you have a very complex business process flows, lots of stages and steps and branches, then it's complicated. It's a process that will scroll off the canvas area. You can increase the zoom level, decrease the zoom level, or you can fit the business process flow to the canvas here. You can add a condition between the two stages using the if or else logic or a workflow. So I'm going to start showing you. I wanted to do the opportunity to invoice process. So if we click on the first stage, I'm going to call this stage here identify. Okay. Category here you can find identify and entity opportunity, and we'll apply this. Okay, already you can see here on an opportunity it's already appeared. Right, details here. So the system will generate the first step. You click on it, we'll go to we'll add a name to it. If the because my business process flow is called opportunity to invoice process, I'm going to input information about my customer. Is customer existing, and here customers. That's what I was saying to Anna before. Some of the information on the data field doesn't match the one on the step name here, like the customer. Sometimes you don't find the equivalent into the data field.
Yes, so the way that works, sorry. So the way that works, within your second dropdown, actually within your only dropdown, you've got all of the fields on the entity you're referring to, in your case, the opportunity. So those fields have their schema name within CRM. Maybe the next field that you'll create, I'm going to show you. If you select the field from the drop down first, it will automatically fill in your name on the top box. However, sometimes those names don't make sense. So this is why it lets you change the name, but it won't change the field based on your name. So this is why you can't find a field, because you are wondering, am I talking to an existing customer? And in that case, you're looking for an account or contact, depending on what your business is. but you want the field to show, is this an existing contact? So you've done very well by, doing a very custom name, but that won't change the name of the field. So that, again, that's an area where CRM can become confusing.
Yes, because I can't even find like just customer. It's customer need or customer pain point, so nothing to do with.
Because there is no such thing as a customer within Dynamics. So within Dynamics, it gives you an account or a contact, and then you decide who's your customer. That's why. And then customer need, they don't really care who it is. They only care about the need, really. This is why it says customer need, which is, again, a bit confusing, because you're like, well, if there's a customer need, how come I can't find my customer? And it's a bit of allowing you to be flexible, but in a twisted way.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Obviously, I'm going to select account for a data field, and I'm going to make this required. So I was telling you earlier on about stage gating. So this information is mandatory. So if it's not filled in, my user can't move forward into the business process flow. So I'll apply this. Right. I haven't told you yet about the drag and drop interface. So you can add from the button here at the top, add stages, condition, steps, or workflows, or the easiest way. I mean, both are easy. Whichever you prefer, you can add steps by doing this. Add a second step here, and then we'll trigger all the information on the side panel here.
Try selecting the field without typing in the name.
Okay, data field here. So this one, I know this one, it has equivalent. So this one, I want to do potential customer. You see this one, it has customer.
See, it fills it in automatically. This is why it lets you do that.
Okay, apply. And my third step here, so apply. Let me just apply that. Yeah, I've applied it. Step. The last step here will be price list. I think this one is already here as well. We have the price list. Required, also need a price list. Important. Apply. So my first stage, it's called identify, and within my first stage, I've got 3 steps. I'm going to add another stage here now. My second stage will what we call those. Opportunity. Okay, fine. Details. So always the first one is generated by the system. The information, I'll just this one. Wanted to choose product line items. Yeah, that's the trouble. Can't seem to find one for product lines, which is a bit
Add estimated revenue. If you've got line items, then it will fill in your estimated revenue. Otherwise, it won't.
Another step here. Another one I want to be like the total amount. Yeah, total amount here. Total detail amount. For this one. Okay. Another step here will be called payment. Want to be like a payment term.
What are you looking for?
Payment terms, like if you know payment terms card, let's say, or
You've got like a purchase process instead.
purchase process. Yes. Let's see. Yes.
Yeah.
Applied. Apply. And then the last one here will be if the bill is billed to address setup, if we've and then just add the information about the address, email address. I'm very sorry, it's already past 9 o'clock. I want to add some information about like the address, like where the bill is going to be sent to.
I don't know. Add the description field. So add the description field and validate it, save it and publish it. Because I'm curious just to see how mandatory fields look like in the business process flow and how you can switch the business process flow. And then I would suggest that we continue with this next time. And then hopefully Anya can then follow on from that with regards to security and other bits. What do you think about that?
Yes, I'm happy with that. I'm sorry I've gone over time. Just one or two things here to show. So the arrows here, you can move the steps.
You have to select one.
Select one. That's true. So step 1, you can see it's moving we can make it, it's moving down. The estimated revenue, I've changed it as my last step. By going back, I can move it back to as my first step. This one here, I'm going to delete this last step here for this time, and then I will next time with Anya, I will go back to Intuit and find the equivalent for you. Yeah, and my last one, quickly, my last page would be here. It's called close. Close. Apply. And I want to send just a thank you note. And thank you note here. And apply. I'm going to now. I'm going to click the validate button to ensure to ensure there's a logic within the business process flow. There's nothing missing. The validation successful. Now I can activate the process. You can see it's activated. If I go into sales, into opportunities, it should I'm going to see where opportunity to invoice, where it's been saved. It should have been saved under the opportunity. Okay, you can see here opportunity to invoice. So it's I had to go using settings in the processes, and then under the business process flows, out of the box ones, the ones that Dynamics 365 has already installed. You can see the ones that I've created, the opportunity to invoice. You click on it. Opportunity. Activate. Oh, yeah, it's gone to the business design, isn't it? Right.
No, go to an opportunity and switch process. This is how you'll see it in action.
Thank you. So I will go in any opportunity. Yeah. The ones that are. It doesn't come up.
It doesn't. I think it doesn't show because you didn't give it role within security, possibly.
Um, one opportunity. I haven't showed this before. So I'm the owner.
Yeah, but you have to. Do you have a role there? Do you have the admin role? It's weird.
Um,
Oh, I think I know what happened. That was an old opportunity. So you've just created this business process flow. Ooh, very interesting. So once you're creating a business process flow, if there are records still within your CRM, the old records won't be able to access your business process flow. So only your new records. So normally, how you solve that in the real life, we have to create a workflow that assigns that business process flow with our new record, with our old record, sorry. So if you were to create a new opportunity now, you would be able to see the business process flow, but not in the old ones. That's why you can't see it.
because the old ones have been created in the older form. Yes, that's true.
Correct. Exactly. So let's just do that next time. And we'll go through security and conditions, and we'll see the business process flow in action. I'm quite interested in seeing it go through the invoice as well, because that's a new thing, and I'm sure we're all, looking forward to that.
I think what I should have done, I should have gone into opportunities and create a new opportunity and
Yeah,
see if all the information is cascaded in the form like
exactly.
I've done here. Okay. Do you want me to do that now? Now here, or I will do it next time.
I think it's better if we do it next time, and start with new opportunities and taking them, because especially the mandatory field thing from stage to stage, that's a very important piece that everyone should really get. So that's why.
Thank you for action. I apologize. It's taking longer than.
There's no need there. No, I should apologize because I stole like the first 15 minutes.
That was brilliant. I've not looked at business process flows, so it's really great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very detailed, isn't it? And there's a lot, there's a very big subject, and I really think we should go into it next time as well, because it's very important for us to know these things.
Yeah, brilliant revision. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I know the start was a bit wobbly, but I've picked up in the end.
Okay, guys. I need to run as well because I'm still at work and I need to catch a train. So I'll see you very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.